Ophidiophobia, or the fear of snakes, is one of the most common phobias around. Nearly a third of adults are reported to suffer from this particular fear.
My fear of snakes began when I was probably 5 years old, and I think as I grew older, it just got worse, where I can't look at worms, I can't look at anything that looks like a snake. I just can't be close to.
Having heard all about Karla's fear of snakes, Nik and Eva invited her to their villa in the Hollywood Hills.
Before we start working with you, I've got a snake out the back here. I want to know how close you can get to it, whether you can even touch it, I don't know.
I can't touch it.
Well, come with me, come on.
I don't want to get any closer.
This is it?
Yes.
Tell me how you feel.
Oh, I don't want to get closer.
You don't have to get close, that's fine.
Tell me how you feel.
It's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's okay.
You don't need to go any closer, you're all right.
You don't have to touch it.
Our cameras were still rolling as even Nik and Eva were taken off guard by the severity of her phobia.
Karla, you're obviously suffering. This isn't right. Come on, let's get you over this. Karla, your snake phobia is pretty bad. And I'm sorry that you were crying. I didn't think it was that bad. I didn't expect that you'd react that way, and I'm sorry for that. But at least we know how bad it is now. Have you calmed down?
I am. I'm a little bit calm.
Okay. We needed Karla to understand that nobody's born with a phobia. We're born with two fears: loud noises and falling.
And it became quite apparent to us how Karla's fear started when she told us about an incident that occurred back in El Salvador when she was only 5 years old.
Walking with my mother, and all of a sudden she screamed, "Karla, snake!" And I looked back and I just saw the snake very, very close to my leg.
It was behind you?
It was, yeah, it was behind me. And when my mom screamed that, all of a sudden I see this guy running towards me with the machete, and he just literally chopped the snake right as I'm staring at the snake.
Which is the worst bit in that memory?
I think the worst is, but it was so close to my leg that I felt like we made that eye contact, and I'm thinking I'm going to die from a snake bite at this point.
Something I need to tell you. Snakes will not chase you. Who, in that moment, startled you and created that fear?
My mother.
What did the snake do?
Nothing, because it didn't even touch me.
If Karla's mum hadn't screamed when Karla walked past a snake that she didn't even notice, none of this would have happened.
Yeah, and to make it even worse, the neighbour coming out with a machete and killing it in front of her, it all added to the trauma that created her phobia.
You see a trauma, and in that moment, your brain says, I don't want to feel like this. What has caused it? And whatever you link to that trauma is what you'll be frightened of in the future.
So we brought a 37-year-old woman outside, but because you were 5 years of age when you started this, what happened then was the 5-year-old took over. And the 5-year-old in that moment blamed the snake. I
mean, you're right, yes, I have been blaming this creature that really didn't even touch me.
After nearly 2 hours of therapy, she's finally got it.
But have we got her to a place where she can be around snakes without crying?
I'd like to look at snakes for the first time as a 37-year-old adult instead of through the eyes of a child.
I don't have to touch it though, right?
You don't have to touch it, no. Should we go and have another look at the snake?
Okay.
Come on then. It's only an hour ago you were crying when you saw a little bit of the snake, and it's right there, right in front of you.
And it's doing what I used to hate the most right now, and I'm actually staring at it.
Let's have a look.
I want to, but I'm like still so nervous.
It's not what you think, is it?
No.
Put the tail on your hand.
Wow, I touched a snake.
Yes, you did. Hell yeah.
Wow.
You are snake phobia free.
Speak, man. You guys are good.
Can we safely say that Karla Tim no longer has a fear of snakes?
Yes.